Hello again. This is day 2 of my Meet the May-ker. Get it? Haha. With my CCFC challenge, we I don't know if we decided to do anything. I decided, hey, I'm going to do a little challenge because I've seen a bunch of people do the Meet the May-ker for March, but it was May, and I was like, yeah, meet the May-ker. Like, why not? So today we're talking about style. And I had a couple questions about the daily doodles. And so for those of you that didn't follow along, I did a daily doodle. I asked a question, and then I went to Google and I sourced the answer, and I had to figure out what source I was going to use, and then I would draw, or paint. And so every single day there's a question, an answer, and a painting, right? So as you can see from this, my style during this daily doodle was mostly realistic, or like leaning towards realism. So, yeah. It hasn't, I will say that a lot of what I do does tend to lean towards realism. But these are all on my Instagram, so if you want to check these out. It's so funny. Well, but let me show you, because I was like, man, these are so good. But let me show you, once I started not spending an hour plus on the drawings or on the paintings. Aw, that's my friend Maria, her birthday. She loves German short hair pointers. So that one doesn't really count. So let's get to well, whatever. These are all good. In the moment, you're like, oh my gosh, it's awful. But that's just your inner critic telling you not to do something that's awesome. So, yeah. So, I mean, this is, as you can see, mostly realism, right? Okay. And I was able to pull up a sketchbook. This is from 2017. And so these are kind of more like washes or watercolor, and then outline with the thick black. This one is Zombie, SpongeBob, and Patrick from a pour painting this was like the paint that dripped off. That's why I always tell people when they're doing a pour painting, I'm like, save the extra that drips off the side, because it kind of has cool stuff. In my opinion, it's ends up being, pour painting spill, 5/28/17. So that was kind of cool. So just playing with some different styles. And then for those of you that have been following me for a long time, you know that 10, 11 years ago, I was doing marker work, which was amazing. That was a totally different style. And then this is just, again, more kind of realism. But now I'm kind of really working with just expressing myself through marks and not really worrying about being perfect, which is a lot of fun. It's there's no pressure, and whatever it is, and and there's still some realism obviously showing through, but not as intense as I used to want it to be, I guess. And you can see that too in the works, because even here, you've got the cobra that's coming through in kind of a more sketchy, it's still, I would say realism, but kind of different, between the hummingbird and the bear, and the woman and the whale. So even just within this canvas, it's kind of, the style's kind of changing. And then definitely when you start going over to here, again, the realism still kind of, I asked my 2-year-old nephew, and he can say owl for sure. And, but man, it's just been so much fun. And I just love exploring and just figuring out you know, like I really did. I thought my daily doodle book would encourage me to develop a style, but really what it did was it just put me in a really great spot to do a daily painting practice. And I'm so grateful that I decided to do that for myself. Because that's really what it was, is like, this was like just for me. Like there was no financial gain from it. There was no, somebody else said, oh, you should do this. It was just straight up, this is what Maisha wanted. And I am so grateful for that. I am so, so grateful. So anyway, that is my studio video for the day. And yeah, if you have an artistic style, I can't figure out, I can't swap my camera around. So, but yeah, if you have an artistic style, I would love to hear how you developed it. Or if you have a favorite style, even if you're not an artist, if you love seeing different styles, I would drop them in the comments or whatnot. Cause yeah, I mean, honestly, like art for me is like music. Like I like so many different things. Styles, like the really loose, like very, free-flowing watercolor, and, you know, the thick outline, and, you know, the hyper-realism that it's like crazy. I don't know if any of you know Marilyn Minter as an artist, but golly jeepers, she and her crew are amazing. But yeah, there's tons of artists out there doing tons of amazing stuff. But yeah, so that is my artist style challenge complete. So yeah, thanks for joining me. I'm awesome. You're awesome. Let's be awesome together.